Hello everyone, I am Jason Alcott, author of The Sewing Principle. I am so glad that you are here today because today I want to dive into more principles from John Maxwell's leadership book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Why? Because leadership matters. As John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. And I wanted to come back to John's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. We touched on that, looking at a couple laws a couple of months ago, and I just think it's really important. Everything rises and falls on leadership. That's in your personal life, that's in your work life, that's in your family life. It matters. So understanding these laws of leadership can have a significant impact in how you go forward in your pursuit of God's purpose in your life. So today I want to look at law number 12, and it's called the law of empowerment. So I'm not sure exactly where you are in your leadership journey, if you're just recognize the importance of taking leadership in your own personal life, taking responsibility, if you've got an opportunity to lead and serve in your relationships, in your family, maybe you've been elevated to a position of leadership or supervisor or manager in your work or organization, or maybe you've been a leader for a long time in an organization. Either way, learning about the law of empowerment is incredibly powerful. Now, the law of empowerment says that only secure leaders give their power to others. Hold on a second. So you want me to give away my power? If I give all of my power as a leader to other people, if I give that all away, if I equip and empower and train other people to be leaders, doesn't that leave me powerless? Don't I want to just increase my power? I don't want to give it away. Like logically, I would want to increase my power, not actually give that power away to other people to increase in my leadership. But the exact opposite is true according to John and his law of empowerment. You actually want to give away your power. You want to equip and empower the people that you have the opportunity to serve and lead. It's so rare to find leaders that are able to actually equip and empower the people that they get the opportunity to serve, that it actually makes you indispensable in an organization when you are able to develop this skill of how do you empower the people that are on your team to grow in their strengths. People don't do that. People don't take this step because it is illogical. It is counterintuitive to these ideas of power that we have in our society. But if you actually equip and empower people, you become so indispensable in an organization and what it is when you can equip and empower people to go after the purpose, to go after the mission of the organization, whatever that is, that vision. John believes that the greatest things only happen when we give credit to other people. You know, that's the one thing about being a leader. You want to give credit to the people that are on your team when the good things happen, and you want to take the responsibility when the bad stuff happens. And John likes to say, you know, there's no two good days in the life of a leader. And I understand that statement. There are tough days in the life of a leader. But if your team knows that you're willing to take responsibility for the garbage or for the stuff that goes wrong and empower them and give them the credit for the stuff that goes right, then they're going to step out and take risks. They're going to push the organization forward. And that's a difficult place to be. It's a tough seat to sit in, but it's so worth it because the organization, now you build trust and you build loyalty. They know you've got your back. And when you're able to give that credit to other people, that's empowering for them. They want to go and rise and continue to do more as a team. So how do we do this? How do we empower other people? Well, the first thing that you need to keep in mind is you need to have confidence as a leader. People are only going to follow you and allow you to serve them and lead them if you have confidence in your leadership ability. Now, what does confidence mean? Confidence does not mean that you have all the answers. I've yet to be in a leadership position or see a leader in a position where they have all the answers, and that's why they're in the leadership position. It means that you're in a position and you're willing to have the confidence to say, you know what, we can work together to figure this out. Like if I don't have the answer, we'll find the solution. Walk in that confidence, because people that see you walking in that confidence as a leader, then they're more inclined to step into their own confidence and rise up. And the next learning is to be able to equip those that you serve. Well, what do I mean by this? No one wants to be micromanaged, right? You don't want anybody standing over your shoulder. Well, what did you do for the last 15 minutes? Or what are you going to do in the next hour? No one wants to be served or led like that. So how are you going to equip them? How are you going to make sure that they understand the deliverables, what it is that you're supposed to be working on as a team, what the vision is, what the mission is, so that people understand what it is that they should be doing their time and day and moving that mission forward. Also incredibly important in equipping your team is that you are setting the example. You're setting the example of what it looks like to have a positive attitude, to be able to remain calm even when things aren't going smoothly. This is something I have to remind myself all the time. Am I able to remain calm when things aren't going smoothly? When I'm stressed out, can I still keep a level head without losing my cool and be able to keep going and finding solutions? Set an example of being a solution seeker so that when challenges come up, are you allowing that to frustrate you and frustrate your day? Or are you willing to find solutions and push through? When they see you do that, when they see that example in you, they will rise up. Be the example that they need to see as you empower and equip them to go forward. And the third thing I'd recommend is ask a lot of questions. Again, I mentioned, you don't want to be the person with all the answers. Nobody has all the answers, right? But don't set yourself up to be the person that has all the answers, the person that's always going to solve it for everybody. Ask a lot of questions. Ask questions like, well, what do you think the next steps might be? Or what would you do in this situation? Look at, here are the circumstances. Here's what we need to try and figure out. What are your suggestions? What do you think we should do next? Allow people to have that input and, encourage them to go and to follow those steps and learn and be willing to, make mistakes so that we can learn and grow. Ask a lot more questions than giving a lot more direction. If we're always just providing the answer every time somebody comes to us with a question, or you're just providing the answer or giving the solution right away, you're not empowering them to learn on their own. I know in myself, in my leadership journey, I found myself at many points wanting to give direction or just take care of it myself, right? Like I could do this way faster, but it's so much more encouraging to the person that you're serving and leading if you can equip them, empower them, and ask them questions about, how will we take this next step? What would you do if I wasn't here today? This is a challenge. What would you do if I wasn't here today? If they're completely wrong, you can help to point them and steer them in the right direction, but at least get them thinking about it. Okay, so if I was on vacation this week, what would you do? Great. Ask that question. Let them think about that. Then let's run down that path and see. Now you're equipping them. Now you're empowering them to be able to step forward and make those decisions on their own. And the final recommendation I would have with regards to empowering people is to encourage them. And I think we'll probably do a whole video about encouragement at some point in the channel. And I think the best definition of encouragement that I heard is to put courage into other people. Your team, the people that you love, the people that you support, the people that you serve, they want to know that you've got their back. You want to put courage into them to be willing to go out and make mistakes, be able to go out and try new things, be able to push the vision forward of the organization. Put that courage into them to be able to step out and take the necessary risks to see your organization continue to learn and grow, your family continue to learn and grow, right? People recognize, you're going to love them for who they are, for the strengths that they bring to the table, and know that if something were to go wrong, they know they're encouraged that you've got their back in the good times and the bad times. How do we encourage the people that are on your team to step forward into that vision that God has put forward for your organization, that God is calling you towards? So I know it might feel counterintuitive to empower other people, to make yourself almost dispensable in an organization. Like train up the people that you're working with so that they could actually take over and do what you do. But I promise you that is rare air. Equipping other people to lead, that is rare air. And if you can learn to do that and empower people, they'll have a loyalty to you, but also the organization and whatever it is that you're a part of will flourish if you can equip them and empower them to be able to step into the strengths and skills that God has given them. I'm so excited about the purpose that God has for your life. I know God has an incredible purpose and impact that he wants to have in and through you and through the team that you're associated with, the organizations that you support. So I hope you have an absolutely blessed rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week.